one caught me off guard because I honestly did not have anybody to tell me these things during my own time, that I had to pay BOPA fee. Chapel services, I'm sure you must have heard this one. You must have known Bowen and Chapel. Your hostel supervisors, your hostel porters will use bell to choke you. Even if you are sleeping, that bell will wake you up and disturb your sleep. Candid advice, students to students advice: eat well before you go for that screaming. Hi dear fam, welcome or welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Gloria here, and I am super glad, super excited to be filming this video today. Woo! So if it's your first time here, welcome. Thanks for joining the family. You're welcome to the family. My name is Accommodation, a Nigerian-based content creator, and I film content on faith, relationship, lifestyle, and school life. Whoosh! It feels good adding a new sphere to my focus. Kindly watch my videos, turn on your bell, watch my previous videos, like them, drop comments, turn on your bell, share with your friends and everything. I promise you, you will love it here. You won't regret stopping by to watch my videos. And if you are a returning subscriber, you are an OG, thanks for coming back to support this baby girl. In today's video, I'm sure you've seen from the title. Okay? Alright, so a lot of people have asked me questions about where I school, why I'm private about my school life, blah blah blah. But I think by now you should already have the answer to that question. But if you don't know about it, allow me to reintroduce myself to you. My name is Accommodation Gloria, a Nigerian-based content creator, a penultimate year student in the prestigious Bowen University, Osun State. Round of applause, please. It's not easy. Alright, so yes, I school in Bowen University, Osun State. If you stopped by to watch this video, I want to believe you are seeking admission to my dear school, or you are not seeking admission, you just stop by to, check out this cute face and all. But either ways, I congratulate you, because if you are here because you are seeking admission into my school, you are going to learn a lot of things. I'm going to clear a lot of misconceptions, and I'm going to answer about 90 to 95% questions that you have. And even if you are here but you're not seeking admission, congratulations to you as well. Why? Because you are about to have an awesome time on my channel. So stay tuned and stay blessed. Before we go into the video proper, I just want to drop this disclaimer or warning ahead. Don't get carried away by my playfulness, my goofiness and all of that. Just to make sure that in all you do, you are learning something, you are watching something, because that is the essence of this video. See, I woke up this morning, I went to take my bath, dressed up. I'm not going anywhere. I dressed up for you. I dressed up just to make this video for you. That is how much I care about you. That is how much you matter. That is how much I am intentional about your coming to Bowen University. So don't get carried away by my playfulness, by my goofiness. Just make sure that you are learning something, because the essence of this video is to educate you, to enlighten you, and to clear whatever doubts and misconceptions you have. Welcome back to this video. Before we go into the video properly, I want you to understand that the reason I am doing this video is because when I was growing up, when I was much younger, when I was in primary school and all of that, I used to watch a lot of Nollywood movies. And in the days of Rita Dominic, Genevieve, G-Mike, and all those people, and they painted this very wrong image of what university looks like in my head. You see all those big girls with heavy makeup going to class, excessively dressed, wearing heels to class. You see the boys with this very loud lifestyle and all of that, and it's really stuck in my head, because I actually thought that was what university life was all about. Even though I have two siblings before me that went to university and all of that, because I didn't experience it, I don't experience this for myself, I still felt like there's still more to this university life than what my brother and sister were showing me. So it really messed with my head as of then. So if you find yourself in that shoe, you find yourself in that position, that you have a wrong conception of what university is about, or you have a misconception of what Bowen is, or you don't even know what to expect in Bowen at all, then I am here for you. That is why I have walked this path before you, so you have a smooth ride. So ignore all my goofiness in this video. The essence of this video is to learn, to get enlightened and to clear your doubts. So make sure you stay connected and make sure you learn something for yourself. And also do well to share this video. Mommy, daddy, dear undergraduates watching this video, make sure you share with someone that you know will also need this video. Thank you very much. Now let's go into the video properly. So I'm going to be looking down because I documented everything I want to say because I don't want to leave anything out. You should know that as much as I try to make this video realistic, there are some information that may not be correct because I am talking based on the experience I had, and things change. Of course, change is constant. So because it was the way it was in my own time does not mean it will be that way for you, but at least this is going to serve as a guideline for you to at least have an idea of what to expect. So the first thing is a brief introduction about Bowen University. Bowen University is a private university founded by the Nigerian Baptist Convention. It is located in Iwo, Osun State, the southwestern part of Nigeria. Bowen University is 21 years old. Yes, Bowen might not be as old as your greatest gbagba, greatest bobo, but trust me, your 4 years is your 4 years, your 5 years is your 5 years, your 8 years is your 8 years. No unnecessary strike, no unnecessary shenanigans, no unnecessary break. What else about Bowen University? Yes, our vice chancellor as of now, 2022, when I'm filming this video, is Professor Joshua Olalekan Ogunwole, and he's an amazing man. That man is an amazing man. I really enjoy his leadership in that school. Yes. What else is there to tell you about Bowen University? Okay, so you should also know that our motto in the school is godliness and excellence. So that is what everything we do in the school is centered about. It's centered on godliness and excellence. So in everything you do, the way you speak, your character, your dressing, your thoughts, your words, your action, whatever, it should be centered around godliness and excellence. And our core values, we have 5 core values. That is godliness, excellence, entrepreneurship, innovation, and social responsibility. Those are the 5 core values we have in Bowen University. You don't really have to remember these things now, of course. When you get into school and you're doing your orientation and all of that, they are going to hammer it until it sticks. So you'll be hearing this a lot in your first 2-3 weeks in Bowen University. Speaking of orientation is very important. It's like one of the first things you do when you get to school. We have the VC's orientation / welcome address. At least when I got in, I entered school on a Sunday, so the following day, that was a Monday, we had an orientation. Not really an orientation per se, but more of a welcome address by vice chancellor. He spoke to us, blah blah blah, and all of that. They're going to be having the BBSF orientation, that's the Bowen Baptist Student Fellowship orientation. This orientation is the most interesting orientation you have in school because it is anchored by the student body. So you'll be seeing students in 300, 400 level coming to give you orientation and all of that. And finally is the chaplaincy orientation. Chaplaincy, we have chaplains in the school. They're like a body of pastors that help our spirituals in the school, help our spiritual life and all of that. And our chaplains are really amazing and sweet people. I interact with them, I interact with all of them, so I can tell you from a place of honesty that they are really amazing people and you really enjoy them, Sha. So chaplaincy orientation. And the next thing is registration. Of course, there's no how you come into a school, any school at all, and you not do registration, because you have to register to be identified as a bona fide student of that institution. So the first registration you are going to do, according to the student handbook, is pre-registration screening. In my case, I did not do a pre-registration screening. I can't remember doing a pre-registration screening, but I don't know, they might do it in your time. I really don't know. And for some people that came before me, they did pre-registration, I didn't do. I don't know if you are going to do in your time or whatever, but just have it in mind that there's something called pre-registration screening. There's something called bursary clearance. This bursary clearance is very important. Please don't joke with it. It is important because it is after you pay your school fees, they are going to give you the bursary clearance. And that bursary clearance, you will not know the importance until it is time to write exam. And they will not let you enter exam hall without your exam card, ID card, and bursary clearance. When it's time to get your ID card, you get your ID card. When it's time to get your exam card, you get it about a few days before your exams, provided that you've paid your school fees. You get that. So bursary clearance, you get that. Student support services registration. It is during this student support service registration that if you've completed it, that is when you get your ID card. I think it is around that time they'll give you an ID card. But if they don't give you around that time, you still have to do it, but they will give you later on. But it is under student support services that ID card comes up. The medical registration, trust me, see, for this medical registration, you have to brace up. You have to brace up. This medical registration is not for the weak. In my own case, medical registration choke. Looking back, that medical registration was the most stressful, tedious, draining, exhausting registration I did in Bowen University so far. That is the most annoying registration so far that I have done in Bowen University. Is it the queue? See, let me explain something. You see, especially if you are resuming with the first set of people, you know, like the normal general time that freshers are meant to resume, that's later this year, I think October or so. If you resume around that time, October down to November, you resume around that time, it's going to choke. It will choke because, you know, the bulk load of students are resuming, bulk load of freshers are resuming around the same time, and they want to attend to almost everybody at once. So in my own case, I had done the hostel accommodation. I was first in a temporary hostel. Then after I did my hostel accommodation, they moved me to my permanent hostel, that's Story Building SB. I'll be explaining about hostels, female hostels. I'll be explaining that later, much later in another video. So they moved me to my permanent hostel. I already had roommates, we were already flowing and all. Then the school started reaching out to us via email. They started sending messages to our mail. They'll give us a schedule, that's a time and date to come for our medical screening. So you have to go based on the invites they give you. Candid advice, students to students advice: eat well before you go for that screening. When I say eat, I'm not talking about cereal or this thing. Look for, if you can enter cafeteria before you go for that screening, please enter cafeteria and buy food, because it choke. After you buy food, still carry snacks, gala, energy drink, chin chin, chips, whatever. Put it inside your bag, and water. Put it inside your bag because you will need it. It will come in handy. Trust me. Hey, my father, my God. So I got to the clinic. Queue. Is it the queue? Is it the queue you want to talk about? In fact, let's not even go to the queue. You will see the doctor, you do blood tests. If you have fear of needle like me, that when you see needle, you start jumping, you'll be scared. Prepare yourself, because they will draw blood, they will choke needle inside your body, they will draw blood, they will take your urine sample. No, they didn't take our stool sample. They took our blood, they asked for urine, they'll give you a cup to pee inside. You talk to a doctor, they ask if you have ulcer, blah blah blah. I think you fill a form and all of that. You state if you react to drugs, what drugs you react to, if you have any underlying health issues and all of that. I think you do that, or your parents did it or something. I really can't remember, but I think I filled the form like that. You will do x-ray, you will do eye tests, you will just do a lot. They'll check your vitals. You will just do a lot when it comes to medical screening. You will do a lot. When it's time to do the x-ray, you are going to be asked to take off your clothes, but don't fret, calm down. In my own time, they put about, I think, 3 or 4 of us in a room. They called us in at once. You go into the room, you take off your clothes, and then you now wear, they'll give you this overall to wear. So you just wear that overall on your bare skin, and then you now enter the room, like that very dark room where they do the x-ray, and then I think you lie down or whatever. They'll just do the x-ray and you stand up and then you go and change. But just prepare your mind, they are going to do x-ray. If you bring your x-ray from outside, the school will not collect it. You'll be required to do an x-ray in the school. So that is it about medical registration during my own time. You are going to do chaplaincy registration. You don't really have to worry about this. When you get to school, you'll be told how to do it. I think they will give you a form. You have to fill this form or something, like you'll be of good behavior. You have to say it has to be signed by a pastor or whatever. But if you don't have a pastor to sign it for you, you can always ask any of the chaplains in school to help you sign it. I think that's the chaplaincy registration. I'm not really sure. Then you do departmental registration. Of course, if you are going to be in a department, if you are going to be studying a course, you have to be registered with that department. You do faculty registration and you do library registration. Now, the difference between a department and a faculty is this. see the faculty as a mother and see the department as her children. It's very simple. So for example, the department or faculty, although in Bowen we don't call it department and faculty, we call it program and college. So what they call department in the secular university is what we call program, and what they call faculty is what we call college. So in my school now, we have the College of Liberal Studies, and under College of Liberal Studies we have 5 programs. That's 5 departments. Do you get? So the faculty is like a large body that has a lot of departments under it. So that is the best explanation I can give. And we have the library registration as well. Now of course you'll be giving ID cards. When I already mentioned that when it's time for that, you have to pay your school fees, and you can pay your school fees either online or offline. In my case, all my school fees so far, I've always been paying them online. Just make sure that if you are paying online, ensure that you are paying using the right link, ensure that you are not paying to a wrong link, ensure that you are not getting scammed. And if you are paying offline, that's in school, like you are paying with cash, ensure that you are giving the money to an authorized person. Ensure you are not giving your money to someone else. And when you pay, make sure especially if you are paying offline, make sure you ask for a receipt that carries the logo of the school, the name of the school, the receipt number, your name, the person will sign, the amount you paid, and blah blah blah. And another thing you should prepare for, this one caught me off guard because I honestly did not have anybody to tell me these things during my own time. After I had paid my school fees, and I paid online at home, I was doing my faculty registration, my college registration. That was when the college I think college accountant now told me that I had to pay 20,000 naira BUPA fee. So that's one thing you should know. If you're a fresh student, you have to pay BUPA fee every session. At the beginning of a new session, you will pay BUPA fee. For returning students, they already know this. It's not a new thing to them. But if you're a fresh student, you pay BUPA fee. And in my own time, as a fresh student, it was 20,000 naira for me, and for returning students, it was 10,000 naira. So I don't know how much they are going to call it in your own time, but just know that you are having extra money for BUPA. Like just start from 20k, just budget 20k. It could be more than 20k, it could be less than 20k, but just budget less than, like a minimum of 20,000 naira set aside for BUPA. Now the next thing I'll be talking about here is accommodation. I know you've been wondering, when will she get accommodation? Here we are. Calm down. For fresh students, at least so far, it has been 4 people in a room, and the room is quite big. At least it's okay, and we have 3 bunks. Is it 3? Yes, there are 3 bunks per room, and it's always 4 people in a room. I don't know how they are going to be doing this new session, but so far it has been 4 students per room, and each student will have their own bed space. You have your bunk, you have your table, you have your compartments. That's like a wardrobe. You have extension, not extension, you have a socket by your wall, your bedside. And in your hostel, there are different hostels. You have story building, we have block, and in block we have block A1, block A2, we have block B, C, D, E, F, G, H. But the blocks for fresh students are A1, A2, E, F, G. Those are the blocks for fresh students. Another thing you should know about hostel, okay, I'll be going into details in another video because I really can't say everything in this video. So anything I don't touch in this video, be sure that I'm going to talk about them in another video I'll be doing. So accommodation, yes, you have your accommodation. There's a common room in the hostel. The female hostel for fresh students, you have Wi-Fi there, so you don't really need to fret. There's Wi-Fi you can connect to once you complete your registration, especially the student support service registration. You know how to log in and everything, and you also have access to your SS hub. When you complete your registration, you'll be told about all these things. And I didn't mention this earlier. The school anthem is important because in fact you don't have choice. You'll be taught during your registration, during your orientation. You'll be taught the school anthem during your orientation. And another thing about accommodation is that don't bring your mattress, don't bring your pillow or whatever. The school is going to provide you a mattress and pillow. Just come with your beddings, and by beddings I mean your bedspread, your blanket, your duvet, your cover clothes, your pillowcase, and whatever. But as regards mattress and pillow, the school is going to provide you with that, so you don't need to come to school. If you come to school with mattress, you'll be told to return it. They will not allow you to bring the set. They'll tell you to take it back to your house. So I'll be doing a more detailed video about all these things in another video, like what to bring when you're coming to Bowen University. Anticipate that video is going to drop soon. So electrical appliances, yes, you can come to school with phones. Phones are allowed in Bowen University. You can come to school with your phones, your laptop, your iPad, your tabs, whatever. You can come to school with all of those. You can come to school with a kettle. You can come to school with your iron, but you cannot come to school with certain things like toaster, grill, television, all those things. I'm doing a detailed explanation in another video. I really don't want to take time. When it comes to food and feeding, you can come to school with provisions like gari, cocoa pops, cornflakes, golden morn, and all of those, milk milo, and all of those. But you cannot come to school with raw food stuff like indomie, rice, beans, blah blah blah. You can't come to school with things like that. Now, your room cleaning, you are expected to clean your room yourself as a student of Bowen University. You're expected to clean your room yourself. Pets are not allowed in Bowen University. For health services, once you've done your medical registration, of course, you now have access to the university, and you've already paid for it in your school fees. Like, if you check the breakdown, you see it that you've paid for it in the school fees. So when you are not feeling well, you see that you're not feeling okay, talk to your hostel supervisor or whatever, and they will call the ambulance to come and pick you. Or you can just easily go to the clinic by yourself and see a doctor. Once you see that you're not feeling okay at all, just go there. And our clinic is okay. If you're admitted, if you're on admission in the clinic, the hospital is responsible for your feeding, your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and there's Wi-Fi in the hospital, free Wi-Fi. Just connect and use. You've paid for it, so just use away. And if they say that okay, your condition is more than what the school clinic can handle, they are going to take you. You'll be referred to Bowen University Teaching Hospital, that's Booth in Ogbomoso. The school is going to arrange for how they'll take you there, blah blah blah. And if you're also a medical student, and by medical student I mean if you're studying MBBS, you're studying nursing, physiotherapy, medical laboratory science, and the likes, you would have to leave the Bowen campus in Iwo to go to Booth in Ogbomoso to complete the rest of your school year. So for MBBS, for example, you are going to do 100 to 400 level in Iwo campus, and then you will do your 400 level part B intercalated to your final year in Ogbomoso. When you get to school, you understand all these things better. So university library, we have 2 libraries in the school. We have one on the permanent site and we have one on the temporary site. Again, I'll be explaining the difference between the permanent site and temporary sites in another video. Just know that we have 2 libraries. You have like the main university library in the permanent site, and we have the law library in the temporary site. Although this law library is also open to non-law students. So we have that, and we have a counseling unit in school. This one is not directed or operated by students. We have counselors in school, and they provide online services and offline, that's one-on-one service. For the online service, you can access this on your SS Hub, that's your smart school hub. Once you've completed your registration in school, blah blah blah, you'll be giving your login details and you know how to use your SS Hub. Now, chapel services. I'm sure you must have heard this one. You must have known Bowen and Chapel. Yes, Bowen is a Christian school, and we do not take our spiritual with levity. We don't joke with our spiritual life. So we have breaking this down into 2 parts. The first part is the University General Worship Service, and the second part is the Student Fellowship. So for the University General Worship Service, we have we worship on Sundays between 8:30 and 12 p.m. and we worship on Wednesdays between 10:30 and 12. And another thing you should notice, when I say we worship on Wednesdays between 10:30, I'm not talking about night, I mean morning. That's 10:30 a.m. and 12 noon. So during and on Wednesdays, for our services on Wednesdays, you can have class depending on your lecture and your timetable. Classes can hold between 8 o'clock a.m. and 10 o'clock a.m. before chapel service or after chapel service. But once we are in chapel, once there's worship going on in the chapel, in the university chapel, nobody is expected to do anything. No activities are permitted to hold, of course, except for clinic, blah blah blah. But cafeteria, library, any other personal devotion or whatever, they are not allowed, they are not permitted during the worship hours. And for the student fellowship, that's the part 2 of the worship of chapel services. On Sunday evenings, we have the Sunday evening service between 5 o'clock p.m. and 7 p.m. We have voluntary Bible study on Monday between 6 and 7 p.m. Of course, as I've said, it is voluntary. It is not mandatory, it is voluntary. But I would highly recommend that you attend VBS, because let me tell you a brief story about VBS. See, when I first attended, the first VBS I attended, because I was in 100 level that time, they mandated it. They made it mandatory for all 100 level students. So, after having a long day registration, orientation, all of us were sleeping in the room, myself and my roommates. We just locked the door, we were sleeping until we just heard bell. And that issue is bell, especially in female hostel. Bell. Your hostel supervisors, your hostel porters, we use bell to choke you, because registration, orientation, chapel services, anything at all that anything they want to do, they'll carry bell. They'll be ringing the bell to pass the message across. So even if you are sleeping, that bell will wake you up and disturb your sleep. Devotion in the morning, devotion in the night, you will hear bell. I'll talk about devotion later, because I know you're already looking at me like, devotion, what's she saying? Don't worry, I'll explain what I mean by that later. So the pattern started ringing bells that we have to go for VBS, blah blah blah. And they gave us a venue. Like, that venue they gave us was not far from my hostel, from SB. They told us NLT, New Lecture Theatre. So when we got there, we now discovered that they actually changed the venue to the permanent sites, and that means I have to take cab, because it's quite far. So I was very angry. I was so angry. I didn't even carry Bible. I just took my phone and I just said, okay, let's go. I got to Couts. That's the current venue for VBS. I got to Couts. During that VBS, I just made up my mind that I'm not going to listen. I'm just going to come here to sleep because I'm angry. They disturbed my sleep. So I was not paying attention. It was Temitope Mishaye, our vice president female as at then. She was the one that preached that day. So during the service, I already said I'm going to sleep, blah, blah, blah. I don't even know how it happened. The thing just hit me. Like, this sermon is powerful. That's how the sleep left me, and I just joined them. See me praying, speaking in tongues. That was not the day I started speaking in tongues. I was already speaking in tongues from secondary school. So I just joined them, started speaking in tongues, praying in the Holy Ghost, worshiping, and it was beautiful. And ever since, I've always recommended VBS, and I always try my best to make sure that every Monday I attend VBS. So please, for your own sake, for your own benefits, it comes highly recommended from me. Attend VBS on Monday by 6 p.m. It's always between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. And then Thursday evening, we have our service between 5:30 p.m. and 7 p.m. And the attendance of this one is compulsory. Thursday evening service is compulsory for all students. And it is like the most interesting of all the services, because it is organized by the students, but it's just you and your fellow students interacting, blah blah blah. And we have code of ethics for all our worship services. That's all ladies must cover their hair during worship hour. You must not use phone. Your phone must be switched off. You must not eat, drink, or chill during worship hour in the chapel. You must be of good behavior, godly behavior during worship hours. You must participate in the service, like you must participate. If they tell you stand up, close your eyes, close your eyes. You must dress well. I know you are waiting for the part where I'll talk about dressing, but I am not doing it in this video. I'm going to do another video for dressing and relationship to answer those questions in those videos. Like, I'm doing a separate video, so stay tuned. Make sure you turn on your bell so you know when I drop videos. So this is everything I'm going to be talking about in this video, because this video is already getting long and I really don't want it to be so long. So this is everything I'm going to be talking about in this video. If you have questions, you have anything you'd like me to mention, please interact with me in the comment section. You can also follow me on Instagram. I'm going to be leaving all my details in the description box. Make sure you turn on your bell so you get notified when I drop other videos. This video is just like an introduction. I'm going to be dropping the proper videos on dressing, more detailed videos on accommodation and all other things you want to know. But if you have things you want me to talk about, please let me know in the comments. Share this video with someone you know will need it, and subscribe if you haven't. Like, comment, do everything. And again, let me welcome you, undergraduates, dear undergraduates. Welcome to Bowen University. I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to have you. Till we meet again in my next video, remember that Jesus loves you and so do I, and there is nothing you can do about it, because I love you already. All right, see you in my next video. Bye.